everyone. Thank you for joining me once more on the You Can Be Anything podcast. Today on the podcast, I am blessed to have somebody that I've been trying to hunt down. So I follow this person. This person is an influencer in the Cameroonian community, and I've always wanted to know more about her. Following what she does on social media, I'm always like, but who is this person? Like, what motivates her? And so today, I'm honored to bring to you Roy Mama of the Roy Mama Show. Thank you so much, Roy Mama, for accepting my invitation. And welcome to the You Can Be Anything podcast platform.
Hi, everybody. Hey. Thank you so much, Solange, for having me. It's really an honor to be here, for us to be able to have or chit chat a little bit and see what's up.
Yay, awesome. Thank you for saying yes to my invitation. I appreciate you for that.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
I know that a lot of people that listen to my podcast probably already know you. They know you as Roy Mama. The truth is, I know you as Roy Mama. I could talk about you somewhere and somebody will feel like, oh, is that your personal friend or somebody? It's just because I follow you on social media and I know you from social media. For anybody like me who knows you on social media and that's it, that's all what they know about you. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Who would you say you are? Who is Roy Mama?
Hmm. Woo! Right, Mama, it's a package. Uh, it's a mom of three beautiful boys. I call them beautiful because they're really beautiful in and out, and
Nice.
they're the reason why I do what I do, or one of the reasons why I do what I do. I'm a wife. Um, I'm a philanthropist, as they say. I don't really see myself as that, but I am. Um, I'm a life and relationship coach, a motivational speaker, as I say. Um, um, Upbringing or upgrowing or business person, because I try to divert a little bit in business and see how that actually can add a little bit into who I am. I ended up giving out everything when I when I'm selling, so I'm not too sure. But actually, I am. I'm just someone who just want to see everybody happy. My mother said, "You think you can change the world? I think I can change one person." So that's just who I am. That's just who I am.
That is a package. That is a lot that you are, and you're so modest. You've spoken about yourself in a very modest way. There is more about you than what you have told us, and that's part of modesty. That is who you are.
I
So
know.
anybody listening to
I
us
try
that
as much as
knows you,
possible not to put my job into this. Because
yes.
a lot of people think when they know what you do, they think you have too much, and it's been a hustle. It's been a hustle. But I'm a healthcare worker actually, and it's a whole it's a bundle, and I try as much as possible to keep that side of it out of what I do, for personal reasons, and that's just how I love to keep it.
Yeah, it takes talent to be able to draw that line, to be able to say,
Mm,
okay, this is my work life and this is who I am
mhm.
to the world and to the people that I've decided to impact. So it takes talent to be able to do that. Even the only reason I know that you're a healthcare worker, I don't think I've ever heard you talk about it on your shows and stuff. I have seen you in scrubs. You're making a video and I saw you in scrubs on your
Yeah,
badge.
I
That
can
is
hide.
how I knew that you were a healthcare worker. So again, if that's your intention to draw the line, you're doing a good job at that because
Oh, thank you.
listening to you, I don't think I've heard you talk much about, you can say, hey, you're traveling for work, you're going to do stuff, but you don't talk a lot about your work. So you're doing a good job drawing that line. But hey, today, what brings us here today is Roy Mama. It's not your personal life. It's a life that you have out here. It's a life
Mhm.
that we see. And one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to you is because sometimes I sit and I wonder how you do what you do. And the reason I say this is because I see messages the day or when I decided to do what I do today and actually go live and be able to talk, the kinds of messages that came into my phone from people were so emotionally hurting that
Mhm.
I had to remove my number from my Facebook page because it was
Wow.
difficult for me to handle.
Mhm.
I see that you do that. And how do you handle all of these people that flood your inbox, that
Mm.
come telling you about all what is happening in their lives? How do you deal with that, with all those emotions? I think that's what I'm trying to ask.
Um, it's kind of a lot. Thank you so much for asking because when we do what we do, a lot of people don't really stop to say or to ask us how we go about stuff like this. Sometimes we want to breathe and have someone ask us for us to be able to explode and also be able to free our own mindset and stuff like that. So thank you so much for asking this question. It takes wisdom and it takes grace. That's the word even. It takes grace to be able to handle our community. First and foremost, we have to understand we're coming from a minority that our mindsets have not been groomed perfectly. It's been in a certain way that we've seen poverty a lot rather than riches. So it's due to the struggles that our country has been suffering for this number of years. It has made things worse, and it's hard. We can only be one at a time to help out what we're doing. Getting to people, getting to my DM and expressing themselves. I sometimes appreciate it a lot because, like I said the other day, I'm one person who is so closed and find it really difficult to trust that someone to be able to express myself. And when I do, it means a lot to me. So it's been an emotional roller coaster because for you to be able to absorb all the messages and the pain and suffering that people, let me tell you something. For a day, I have more than 200 messages and from different people, not the same
Oh,
people.
boy.
And then imagine the recurrence of the same people coming back again and trying to ask, oh, did you read my message? Or am I still waiting? What can I do? I'm dying. Depression is here. The word that a lot of people use a lot is depression. And that is a big word for someone to be able to use that all the time. So it kind of depresses you as a person to understand that at one point in time you can help in your own little way. So what happened to the rest? So it's been a tough ride and it's still a tough ride. And but hoping that at least one person at a time will definitely have a smile on their faces because I can't save the world just like my mother says all the time. I can definitely not save the world. But I think that when we have a platform like what I do have, it gives an opportunity for those situations to be able to be spread out uh, and see how we can chip in our own little bit here and there and save a soul. I cannot do it by myself, even if I try as much as possible to want to do that, because I'm a very confidential person. I will hold on a situation for a very long time, fight with it, and see how I can resolve it. But at the end of the day, I will definitely need a helping hand somewhere, and say, hey, maybe I'll call Mama Talako. Maybe, I'll say, hey, Sissy, what do you think about this? How do I go about it? This is a lot, and we'll talk about it and find a better way and see how we can resolve it. So it's tough, but we're taking one day at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm listening to you, and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, watching your show yesterday. You had $1 million, a million France CFA show
Mhm.
yesterday, where you gave out that amount of money to random people. Like, you came onto your platform and you're picking up people, and you're like, okay, yeah, so long as you're a follower of this page and you share these videos, you're going to win 200,000 francs. Is a lot of money. That is a lot of money for somebody to just come on social media someday and win, right? And I just watched you how you picked these people, and you kept talking about people that were coming into your DMs and telling you how they really need to win this money. And just watching you from outside, right? I could feel that. Should I call it emotional blackmail? But I don't know if that is the right word.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the way I look at it is when people start coming in, like, you have a platform that you're making this is how you can win. But they choose to go to your inbox or to your WhatsApp and tell you like there is a place where you can win. So I was just
Mm.
watching it and I was like, oh God, I wonder what she's going through now.
Yeah,
I
it's
wonder
tough.
how what she has to do.
It's tough because the truth
Yes.
of the matter is that I really, if I don't know, if there was a better way, trust me, I would have just get done with this thing. Is because there've been a lot of frauds and and people trying to frame or make up stories to get the money and stuff like
Yes.
that. If not, trust me, I will not come on the platform and do stuff like that because prior to that, even it's been sometime this month or last month. Sorry, the month just started last month. I've spent more than 1 million or 2 to try to help out other people. People will come, they have documentation that they have to go through, they have family rent, they have somebody is dying. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I have a foundation page, a Sisters Corner Foundation page, and which is a page where normally we have supposed to be posting all the help and stuff that we do. But sometimes I cannot feel embarrassed to do stuff like that. But again, how will people know the work that you do, or how will someone get encouraged if you don't put out what you do out there? So that's what I told them. I said, okay, I'm going to reactivate that page for all the situation that are coming in my inbox. I don't want to die before time.
Like
Let me see
for
if I can
real.
post it
Yeah.
on this platform. Give me an authorization. I'll post it on the platform. And someone will definitely be touched with your situation and see how we can collectively help out. It's not easy. Cameroon is
That's the
tough.
truth. My
Cameroon
next
is
question
tough.
to you is where do you get all that money that you give out? Is that you're like you are you're like any other healthcare worker in this country? Like you're giving out
I
too much money, and if you're
it's
not showing up,
sacrifice.
if you
It's
don't go and show
sacrifice.
those things, Roy Mama, when you put it on your sister's corner platform, other people will see that this is what you're doing. I think I've contributed once or twice to your sister's corners
Yes, you
because you were
have.
giving out some money. But
Hmm.
people need to see what you're
Hmm.
doing so that there are people out here who are ready to give, but they don't have platforms like yours to
That's
give
true.
on.
That's
So
true.
that's why I would encourage you to put the stuff you do on the Sisters Corner platform so people can see and donate. You cannot do this on your own, just like your
That's
mother
true.
says. Come on, girl.
That's
You're not going
true.
to solve the world's problems. You
That's
can
true.
only
The
solve
people who
one
have
person
reached
at a
out here
time.
and there,
Hmm.
like you said, that's true. Putting out whenever I put out something, to be honest with you, the people that have reached out here and there,
Hmm.
they will chip in their own widow's mite and make sure
Yeah.
that we do a better job. Mommy Jax is one of them.
Hmm.
I have a sister, Sister Hone. Solange yesterday also gave out $50, and this is it 50? Yeah, $50 to see, or 50K. I can't even remember when I was doing the 1 million giveaway to also support. So people reach out here and there. Sometime when I have situation and Pam, Mama Dollar is a little young girl who also started out on the platform, here and there. But 90% of what I do, it's personally, and
Yeah.
it takes sacrifice. It's just sacrifice because sometimes when I found a better way to do investment. But sometimes when I sit there and I just see the money sitting right there, and I'm like, why would somebody be dying? I have this money sitting right here.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know I could invest and do something else. I know I could save the money for this and that. But again, I'm looking at it like I feel guilty, and I feel like God is watching me like, you have 500 friends. Why you don't give person 200 friends? I feel so guilty, but normally I'm not supposed to feel that way. But
Yeah.
again, I just think that I was just choosing for a purpose to do what I'm doing,
It's a grace. It's a grace.
and
I
it makes me
think there is
happy.
something about you for real. There is definitely something about you that makes you do all what you're doing. And still, I appreciate it and I admire it. I can support when I can, but I just encourage you to put it more out there and so other people can chip in and so you don't get overwhelmed. Sometimes you have to deal with the emotional blackmail. You don't want to also deal with financial blackmail.
Yeah, it's a
Yes,
lot. It's
for
crazy though.
real. But yeah,
It's crazy.
I guess those all those beneficiaries they appreciate you a lot. Sometimes I see the messages they come and they put on. There's always gonna be people who troll, but I also see that there are a ton of people who come to your platform on your live
Hmm.
videos and they appreciate what you're doing. The hope or what we pray for is that they make good use of what they are getting out of your generosity
Hmm.
and not just misuse it and come asking again. right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you
So
cannot really
somebody just
determine when you
texts.
give, it's gone. You cannot determine what they're going to do with it,
Mm-hmm.
right? You give
Mm-hmm.
and
So
you
actually, what I did
satisfy
yesterday,
yourself.
what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do is that what we've done a lot of 25K, 50K, 10K, 5K, which is not a bad thing. It
Mm-hmm.
also helps to put food on the table. But I'm trying to have them help them fish, because we cannot keep doing the same thing every day, and then the system is still the same. So we're trying to do something where we can give them a little bit of more and see how that can be able to be implemented into and put them in different businesses, and then so that they can be also be able to hire someone tomorrow or give an opportunity to someone tomorrow. It doesn't have to be us all the time doing what we're doing. Why not you also do something? Do something where you can employ one person. Even if you're selling fish roll, hire somebody where the person can walk around with a fish roll or fish pie.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot. It makes a lot. It increase the level of the community, of the people in the community, where they're not only begging, but they're looking at themselves as if having hopes tomorrow, for a better life. I can't do this for the rest of my life. I have kids also that I have to look
Now
up
you
to.
have three
Tomorrow,
boys.
tomorrow I'll also get old. I need them also to take care of me. So it's
Yes.
um it's a lot, but trust me, I have just made up my mind that this is what I want to do, and I love doing it. And hopefully, we'll get to a better place where God can bless us more to be able to bless more people.
Do you ever follow up when, so for example, the 5 people that won 200,000 francs CFA yesterday, do
Mhm.
you follow up with them after you give them that money to make sure that they are putting it into use, or do you just say, you know what, I have given?
Before, to be honest with you, before looking at my schedule, it's crazy. But before, I never used to put too much attention to that. That they'll definitely once in a while they'll come back to me and say, "Hey, this is what I've been able to do with that money." I've had a couple of them that are doing really, really good, due to the little that we're able to invest in them. But
Mhm.
this time around, it's I've told them it's do or die. I have to be behind you guys like crazy. At least I have Sako, who is there right now, who is the manager of my page, who kind of follow up here and there and make sure that it's the right thing and we're on the right path and the money is being invested the right way. So I really appreciate him for doing that. And we'll see as much as possible, giving them 3 to 6 months for them to be able to do a turnaround with that money so that someone else can be put in a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this time around, we'll definitely do that. This time around, we'll
Okay.
definitely do that. Yeah. If you don't have a
Yeah,
plan,
that's good.
we'll pass it over to someone else.
Okay, that's good. All right. Roy Mama. Why Roy Mama? What inspired that name?
Um, Actually, my name is Roy. My
Oh,
it's a
okay.
name.
So
Yeah,
Roy
it's a
is your real
name.
name. Okay.
Yeah, it's a name my dad. It's a name. It's not in my birth certificate. It's a name my dad gave me when I was a baby, when I was born. Maybe they thought I was gonna be a tomboy. Or, I don't know. So it's a name my dad gave me when I was a boy, when I was born, and my mom was like, "Hell no," Then my mom used to love what's her name? No, no, not Shantapia. What's her name? Germaine Aijo. So my mom used
German.
to love that lady like crazy. So my mom said, "Hell no, I'm not gonna name you Roy, but I'll give it Jermaine." So I was like, I was like, when I heard about it, I said, "Oh, okay." But I'm like a piece and puzzle of my dad. Like the way I love my dad, it's I've never heard. I've heard of unconditional love, but I don't know if there's another love I could attach to that. But and then Mama, it's a name where when you're a baby. When you're a baby, they call
Mama.
you Mama. Yes. So
Yeah.
90% of my family don't even know my real name. They know me as
They
Mama.
don't call you Germain. They call
Yeah,
you
nah, they don't. They
Mama.
don't
Or they
call me
call
that
you.
name. So yeah. So it doesn't even strike that it's a social media name for me. It's
Mhm.
it's like my regular. It's a normal name for me. So I
Yeah,
decided to
yeah,
attach
okay.
the name together, Roy Mama. A lot of my friends
Yeah.
at school they call me Germaine Roy. That's the name they call
Hmm.
me. Yeah. So I just decided to put the two together to brand it because Germaine was gonna be like an abstract name. I don't even know. I tried to use it as an and
That's
since I
because you
like
did
to,
not use it a lot.
since I like to hide, so I say, you know what? Because I know a lot of people have been looking for me on social media. They never until one day they say, "What? Was that you?" I said, "Oh my god!"
Yes, I see those people
So,
come on when they say,
yeah.
"Oh, so it is you.
So it's
So this
me.
is you." I think I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah, yeah.
I've seen those messages on your
I'll be like, now
platform.
you want to bust my secret, eh? So, you know,
So it's you. Oh, great.
yeah.
That's
So it's
nice.
actually my name. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I was when I read it, I was like, Roy Mama, one must have inspired this name. Where did this name come from? So it's
Yeah.
actually a name that
Oh,
you
yeah. Mm-hmm.
are where you
I
like
try
you
to
answer
brand
to.
it
You've been
like that.
answering
Oh,
to
yeah.
for a long
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. That's nice. So again, if you don't mind to share with us, right? Sometimes when we talk about the things that happen, especially in Cameroon, and I see you come, you turn on your camera, I would say, would you say majority of your beneficiaries or the people that come onto the Roy Mama show, would you say they are Cameroon based?
Yeah, majority are Cameroonians. I have
Mhm.
Nigerians on my platform.
Mhm.
I have Ghanaians. I
Oh yeah,
have,
I saw a Mensa yesterday on the platform.
yeah,
Yes.
I have Ghanaians. I have people from Kenya. I was so surprised. I have
Mhm.
Kenyans. I have someone from Senegalese, from
Mhm.
Senegal. I have a Senegalese from Senegal. I have the people from Jamaica that have reached out, they've come into the platform, and I have people from the US. The
Mhm.
majority of the population and our target population is Cameroonians because I believe that we need
Mhm.
a lot of work and uh, those a mental situation in our country that needs to be addressed and we need to pay attention to because if not, my sister, I don't know what's gonna happen. But the mindset is kind of different because you have to be ready to change your mindset or to think a certain way. I've seen a lot of us even out of Cameroon still behave the same or still think the same or still react the same. You don't have to change your culture, but your mindset actually have to you have to revise your mindset, especially when you travel out of the country and look at life differently. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to deal with our people, but hopefully with the help and power from other different platforms, we'll try our very best to see to make people understand that there's a difference between living life in a certain way and seeing life that way, you know.
Oh, indeed.
And so hopefully with time, and I think we've been trying our little best. Things have been getting a little bit um, okay or well, but there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of work to
Yeah,
be done.
at least
Yeah,
there's some improvement. I
yeah.
would say
There's
there's
been a
some
little bit of
level
an
of
improvement.
improvement, and just listening to you people again, you and the other Cameroonian influencers that are on Facebook, there
Hmm.
is a lot of lessons that come
Hmm.
across in your messages that even when I listen to it sometimes I'm like, Solange, what would you do? And I'm like, oh wow. Again, I come online to learn and to laugh. Listen to you. I listen to Kobos. I listen to Atalaku, your noise
My
making
baby.
baby. She is yes,
When I just
yes.
manage to
So
swam deck.
yes, she is one piece to handle. But yes, I listen to you, and she has your heart, the heart of giving, which
Oh
is
yeah, she
something
does.
that
She
we
does. She's an
appreciate
angel.
a
Let me
lot.
tell you something about her.
Yeah.
If you get to know her, she's a special kind of angel sent on this earth. I swear to God. Even sometimes myself, I used to be like, God help me, give me strength to handle this one. But
She is
trust
a
me,
tough one to crack.
she is an angel. She has a soft spot. Trust me. Sometimes she just have to put up that facade for people to be able to be firm enough for people to understand where she's coming from, you know.
Mhm.
But when you get close to her, you kind of know the kind of a person that she is. She has a beautiful soul. She is.
Yeah,
So don't
you
mind her.
say it
She's here
again.
like that. She is.
From what she does, again, you
Yeah.
can tell from
Yeah.
her all the philanthropy work that she's been involved in,
Hmm.
and again, you can tell that she's someone with a good heart.
To give and
Yeah.
she'll feel so bad. Like she'll feel like the world is coming to an end. Like I'm like, are you really serious right now?
Yeah.
So she's
Whenever
that
you
one
talk about her,
person.
I laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
She
God,
is.
Roy
She's
Mama and
something else.
Atalaku. Yeah,
She
that's
is.
great. So
That's
again,
my
if you know
baby.
there is something that okay, so today, later today, my sister and I on the You Can Be Anything podcast page, we are going to have a live show. We want to talk about cultural identity. And
Mm.
if you don't mind sharing with, again, just wanting to pick your mind a little bit on this because I know I watch you, I know you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, like cultural identity to you? This is a topic that I started looking into cultural identity since I was doing, I'm a linguist, right? So I did linguistics
Mm-hmm.
back in Cameroon. Then I
Mm.
transitioned when I came to the US to IT. But I
Mm-hmm.
have always done stuff that relate to cultural identity, specifically around language. I've not gone
Mm-hmm.
into all the other aspects of cultural identity. But to you, right, when we talk of cultural identity as Cameroonians, how do you portray that? How do you live in this cosmopolitan world, in this global village, and you're still able to hold on to who you are, your culture, like who is the Roy that your mama, your father carried you as a baby? Are there things that you do that you're still able to relate back to where you come from?
Mm-hmm.
And again, by so doing, we're saying that you're upholding who your culture and still being able to be this Cameroonian lady, right? Even though you
Mm-hmm.
find yourself in this, you know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. How do you deal with that? How do you handle that? Or what does that mean to you?
I think cultural identity is an embodiment of a whole lot of different things. Um, it has to do with language. It has to do with character. It has to do with dressing. It has to do with um, which word do I have
Music,
to music? He has to
ton of
do with
things.
food. He has to just it's a lot.
It's a lot
It,
of
you know,
things.
it's a lot of things put
Yeah.
together as one. But what I've realized is a lot of us, when we talk about cultural identity, we only talk about how we dress and how we look like and stuff like that. It has to do with a lot. And again, we have to understand that not everybody in Cameroon was born under the ideology of how you have to be as a Cameroonian, you know, how you have to look like as a Cameroonian, or how you have to speak as a Cameroonian. So I as a person, I was born in the Southwest Province, but I grew up in Douala. So in the French zone, the French area of Cameroon, where we dress different, we talk different, we look at things different. I've never been to the village, never in my life. I don't even know where that is, unfortunately. So it's a lot that I have not experienced, but I came from a well-groomed background, a home where you can go out and even talk to the neighbors. We'll only go out and play with the neighbor when my mom is not there. So go out and play a little bit. The moment we hear mama coming, bam, we run and get into the house.
Sure.
So I came from a background where it was very strict, and we were taught how to talk to people, how to respect. We had to do a lot about respect and identifying yourself of who you are, where you're coming from, the background, where you're coming from. So it's for me. I just the way, especially the way I raised my kids. I think it has a little bit of how my mother raised me as a person. You know, you can walk into my house and don't even know I have kids because I have groomed them in a certain way where they know what to say, what to do at what time, and how to go about certain things. You know, so I take that very, very close at heart because I know that's how I was raised. So for us to be able to identify ourselves, respect is one of the biggest things that I know as a Cameroonian we do. The one of the virtue that we do carry, especially when we go around. That's why you see I see certain things happen on social media, how people lash and drag people in the mud and talk, and I'm asking myself,
Where did this come from?
where did
Yeah.
this come from? You know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is not a culture, this is not a country where we come from. No matter the home or no matter how your upbringing has been, the environment taught us how to respect our elders or how to respect
Yep.
people. So that alone is part of cultural identity of where you're coming from. It doesn't only have to come from the home that you grew or you
Yep.
know. And so this is just something that I feel like as individually, I have my way that I do my things. I have my way that I dress. I'm an African woman who love herself. Sometimes I used to say if I have a certain maybe shape or body, I would have been able to maybe fly or something like that. But at the same time, I'm not losing the person that I am, but I'm showing. Sometimes I dress, I put on a bikini and I put a picture on. People will look at it like, oh, in a certain way. That is not how we're supposed to. But this is a beautiful African woman who is trying to portray that after 3 children, I could still try and put myself in
Take
a
care of
certain way
yourself.
and to
Yeah.
try to take care of myself and portray the beauty of what a woman should look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Beyonce would have posted that picture, everybody, oh my God,
Thumbs
Beyonce,
up.
beautiful. That's the thing. So why can we not at the same time celebrate our own and look at our own as beauty than looking at own as trying to bash it and make it look like this is not culture?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just it. I'm sorry. Somebody is trying to call
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that makes sense a lot because again, the past couple of months on social media have been a lot of people had their opinion that to uphold our culture is
Mm-hmm.
to have natural hair. To uphold our culture is to wear togo, and the Eastern
That's a
material
personal
is to
choice.
wear
That's
um
that's a personal choice, because again,
yes,
I saw something like that and I had to put myself into the whole thing and say that is your own personal identity as culture. It's what you want. There is not uh, uh, um which word is the word I want to use? There's nothing to say that this is what culture is
culture
supposed to be.
is. Yes, yeah.
Cameroon already has like different tribes and
Like
and
crazy. Like
provinces
that
and
the
that.
diversity
So
is
yeah,
crazy.
diversity is crazy. So why do we only want to pick out Bamenda as portraying as culture in Cameroon? Bamenda is not Cameroon.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
not.
that is one little part of what the country is all about. That's a
Mhm.
province that we have different. It's also even the same Bamenda has different tribes. So why
Yep.
do we also want to portray what happened to the Bakotsi people? What happened to the Sawa people? What happened to the Western people? What happened to the Northeast people? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So when we're trying to portray that, we have to embody to put everything together and say that, and look at it differently. Because what you might look at as culture, it's not what somebody else might look at as culture. If you want to wear your natural as a beautiful woman, go ahead and wear your natural as a beautiful woman. It won't stop you to flip that hair tomorrow and say you want to wear Brazilian
It's
hair and look
straight.
different. It's all about beauty. It's all about how you portray yourself. I don't have to
Yeah.
wear traditional wear all the time to portray the goodness or good woman of who I am. That's not it.
Mhm.
My works can speak for itself. My character can speak for itself. The way I uplift or carry myself can speak for itself. So I don't understand why it has to be. I see a lot of women already losing themselves, looking shabby and crazy because they want to carry natural hair.
Natural
They want
hair.
to do my sister. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah. It is the self. I believe that it is the self. It is what works for you. And that has always been my way of looking at it. And
Mm-hmm,
again, it doesn't stop me from thinking of listening to what other people think. And again, that's probably why I asked you this question. Like, hey,
mm-hmm,
what is your thought on this? Because I've spoken to different people, friends,
mm-hmm,
family, and like, hey, what is this cultural identity to you? What would
mm-hmm,
you say you're doing today that is an identity? It's an identifier, right,
mm-hmm,
of who you are. And just as you said, to you, the most important thing is respect.
mm-hmm,
It's the way you're brought up, and that is what you're instilling in your children.
mm-hmm, definitely.
Having natural hair or having wearing the togo is not what is culture to you.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
that is what we want to respect and put it. Again, I really
I've
appreciate
never
you for
even,
bringing your
I don't
thought.
think I've ever even thought about wearing that.
Do you even have I don't think I've ever seen you anything like that on your shows though, but
So
yeah,
that
but
alone, and that to be honest with you, that alone makes some of us feel like we don't belong. Because
no, which is wrong.
if we hold on to that a lot to prove a point that is what culture is all about, you make other people feel like they're lost, that they don't
They're
belong.
left out.
That's not their
Mhm.
culture. Like this is this like we don't like it's not part of us. Like we're not part of that culture. That's not it. But if we're
Mm.
trying to say something that which is cultural identity is a beautiful thing. It's something that we all can identify in one aspect of our life. We all can identify in one way or the other in our life. So, but making us feel like we're left behind, it's not. That's not the point of bringing out something like that. It's not. It's not the
Okay.
best way. We should find a way where we can make everybody feel at home. Like even if I don't wear tobo, is it tobo? They call it tubo
Togo.
togo. Even though I don't wear togo, I can still wear something else and I still feel like I belong into the community.
Yeah,
You
a
know, yeah.
Cameroonian woman in her
No,
true
definitely.
self. Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for giving your thought on that. I appreciate it. And this is the You Can Be Anything podcast. My signature thing is you never leave my podcast. I know you do this every day, but this is the one that stays on this platform. And that special thing is I always put my guests in a position where you have that mic, you're standing at wrong point. That tall thing is in Douala, right? I think it's wrong
It's in
point,
Douala.
if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
It's in Douala
Sorry,
Rampo.
I'm Bamenda. I don't know Yaoundé and Douala. I know Bamenda and Boya. And
Yeah, that's in
so,
that's in Ron
yeah,
Point.
you're
That
standing on
statue,
there
that
with a
statue, right?
microphone. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to say something to
Mm.
us, to your fellow Cameroonians, not only Cameroonians, your fellow Africans, or to fellow human beings, because after everything, we are all one, right? Don't we say
Mm-hmm.
we all have blood running through our veins?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to throw out some words of encouragement or a word of advice to someone that cares to listen. What would you say on that huge microphone?
Oh my God.
You say that every day, so this should not be a problem.
This is different when they put you on the spot. No, what all I always tell people is be you. You know, be you. You can't be someone else. Your identity matters than anything else. You know, if you're trying as much as possible to be someone else, you're losing yourself. You know, you're losing yourself. So find that one thing in you that inspire you and take it and run. You can use somebody else as an inspiration to better yourself, but don't try to be an identity of somebody else. So just be you and do you, just like you can do anything or say anything podcast.
Awesome. That is good. What inspires you? Who is your how do you call it? A mentor. Who do you look up to? Who is that one person that you look up to as an
I
icon?
look up to Michelle Obama. I look up to Oprah. I look up to what's this lady name? I love this lady, Kate Hunter in
Kate
Nigeria.
Henshaw. Oh,
Kate
the
Hunter
girl.
in
She's
Nigeria.
hot.
That's my girl. When I see her, I see I see a little bit of who
Yes,
I
she's
want to be. You know,
yeah, she's
she has this
I like
drive. She has this
yeah.
I don't give an F. She has
The
this
energy in her
the
is
energy in her is
something else.
burning. I just need
Kate
1% of that
Henshaw, yes.
energy. You know, I just need
Yes.
1% of that energy to roll the well. So,
Yes.
you know, we have amazing, strong women in Africa, and but you know, when I think of Michelle Obama, I see something else. I see a woman with so much power, a woman with so much courage, a woman who
Yeah.
would take up on anything and just stand and do her thing, you know. So I do definitely look up to this strong women, and hopefully one day
Awesome.
God will give
I
me
had
1% of that strength to do
yep.
what they do.
I had to ask you that question because just talking to you and looking at you, I was thinking that, like, what inspires her? Who does she look up to and stuff? That's why that question came at the end. And one last question for you. It's a question that I think somebody has asked you this on your platform before and you really did not. Who is your favorite Cameroonian artist? Music.
Ha! To be honest with you, I just got to know a lot of Cameroonian artists lately. Um, I think because of from Fish,
From
from my
Fish, yeah. And
darling
to think that
son.
I may his soul rest in peace. I knew
Mm.
Fish because of you. I got to know him because of
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So from him, I got to know a lot of of different Cameroonian artists. I was like, ah, is he from Cameroon? Oh, is he from Cameroon? So but I have one bad attitude that I'm trying to work so hard. I ignore a lot of things because I am very sentimental. You know, I try not to um, get to know too much stuff, especially when it has to do wahala. It mentally messes up with me,
You're
you know.
running
It
away
mentally
from
messes up.
violence.
Yeah, it mentally messes up with me. So I try not to. I block my mind, and at the end of the day, I really don't get to know a whole lot. But I've started getting to know a whole lot of artists and all that. I love Kosi. I listen to his music a lot, and he has this energy, this vibe in him. And who else do I know? Who else?
Kosi is
Who
the
else?
guy for Don't Song No,
Yeah,
not
that young
Cali. Is
guy.
it that one?
Yeah, that's him.
Is he
That's
the
him.
one?
The
Okay.
one that sang with
Yes, I like that song.
Ajanti, Coco Ajanti or something like
Yes,
that.
the lady. Yeah.
And then I'm an old timer because I because I don't party a lot. So that's why one of the reasons why I didn't get to know all this music.
You will
So when
not
I
know the
go out,
songs.
yeah, I'll go out and I'm like, who's singing it? They start laughing at me. It's because I don't go out that much, so I don't really
You know
know
Tom
who is
Jones.
who. Tom Young, those are my people. So I know, I know, I all those Ancien Makosa. Those are
Yes.
my people. So I kind of know that. But now I'm getting to know a whole lot of them and
Yeah.
trying to understand what they're saying in the wordings behind the music and the meaning and all that. So I think I've listened to Kosi a couple of times until that was the first time I bought a music on iTunes. It was Kosi's music. Um, and who else? Who's in Cameroon again? Who's a Cameroonian artist?
Look at you. For the ladies, think of a lady. Think of the lady.
Don't
Kosi
make
is
don't
one of
make
the popular
my
names. There is
guy.
Selatia Titi Panchak. For the ladies, what
Uh-huh.
is on your mind?
So
Who is
so
on
for
your
the
mind?
ladies, um, oh, what's this girl's name?
Describe the person. I
No,
probably know their
Kamani,
name.
Kamani.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Kamani, and
She's she's energetic too.
yeah, she is. She is. I love her. I really do love her. Um, the ladies. Who else is it? Asaba. Is it Asaba?
Yeah, Asaba is the Mon Bebe, the one that came
Mm-hmm.
up with recently with the
So that
Mon
one,
Bebe.
oh my God, I need to go to Cameroon more so I can know more stuff. This is crazy. I
Yeah.
feel embarrassed. I'm sorry, guys. I feel so embarrassed right now.
It's
Like
okay. Again,
I don't
I
really
have
get
come
to.
to know more about these people, like come to know more about their song because I have gotten more into social media than I used to
Mm-hmm,
be before.
mm-hmm,
And again, we talk about these things because we want to be able to put them out there, right? And say,
mm-hmm,
hey, this is ours. Again, I go ahead and I always listen. I hear this 20, 80, 80, 20, and I'm
mm-hmm,
like, we can only try and we can only listen to what is good.
mm-hmm.
If you don't give us good music, we will not listen to it. So again, I'm very
And
neutral with that whole business.
Sparkle is one young guy
Oh,
also
Sparkle
that
Lee. I used to
for
know him
some
in
reason,
Boya.
I
I
didn't
saw
know,
you people in Dubai.
I don't even want to say he's a musician. He's a musician because I think he's a comedian.
He's
Comedy
a
is one of his things.
comedian
Yeah,
more.
and he puts
Mhm.
more on that in music and stuff like that. But if you listen to his music, he brings back history a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
The things that
Gombele,
we used to do,
Gombele.
yeah, the things that we used to do as kids, you listen to
I
him, you
love
would
that
dance,
song.
you get yourself off the ground and just
Yeah.
go crazy. So he's one young man that I kind of cherish a lot and
Yeah.
with time. And one of the reasons how I also got to know a lot of this artist is because APM Global, and Mama Talaku's
APM
husband,
good. Yeah.
has
Hmm.
taken upon himself to promote a lot of these people on his page. Sometimes when he posts some of them, I said, oh, no, this is not book. So I got to know a whole lot of them from his platform. So I think
Yeah.
if we kind of promote one another, it will definitely give us an opportunity to really know these people because they're really the
Yeah.
amazing talent in Cameroon. They're amazing. I went to Dubai. Let me tell you this. I went to Dubai and I was amazed of the talent we have in the Cameroonian community as artists. Ah, I sat on my bed and I cried. I said, "Dang, who can put these
There is a
kids
lot
out there? Who can put these kids out there?" So there is just a lot we have in us, and we just need a platform to explore, to just
to
explore,
put it on him.
you know.
Yeah,
So
and again, you
hopefully
just
that
mentioned. I think there is this
they will.
guy, Bless B. I knew him
Mm-hmm.
because of APM
Mm-hmm.
Global.
I knew Bless
So
B also from
whatever
AP.
he's doing, it's working. It might
Mm-hmm.
not be like an outburst for, but
Mm-hmm.
again, it is working because I only heard of that guy because I stumbled on Atalaku's page and
Yeah,
APM
I knew of
Global
Bless
was.
B when AP they were getting married, and he was
Yeah.
one of the
So again,
groomsmen, and the
whatever they are
friend was
doing,
like,
it's
"Who is that
working.
guy?"
So
So he's doing great too. He's doing an
yep,
amazing job. He
bit by
is.
bit,
So
we'll get
hopefully, bit
there.
by bit, we'll get to know them. We'll definitely get to
Yes,
know them.
and
I think TJ Pachak is here. He's
yeah,
in
yeah, he's
the
in Maryland, right?
yeah, he
Hmm.
is. He is.
Yeah, hopefully he had a show
Unfortunately, it's
last night, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully he had a good show.
oh, definitely. Maryland is always a platform where
It's happening. He's there
it's a
with
state where it's
Grace
happening.
Decker.
Yeah.
I think Grace Decker is there as well. I hope they have a good time there. Again, it's Maryland, right?
Hopefully.
It must be
It's
good.
Maryland. That's a city of
It is-
party.
yes,
The
happening
energy,
place.
the energy in Maryland, I don't know where these people get their energy from. I swear to God,
It
I
keeps
do
them
not know
going.
where these people
Someone told me that it is
listen.
their depression, it is their antidepressant. That Maryland is an antidepressant.
It's really an
And it works for
antidepressant.
them. It
It
works for
does.
them.
It
So
definitely does.
that's
If you're
good.
not strong enough, you can't live in Maryland. You cannot.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it
have to have
is.
a thick skin to do that.
Hi, Mama. Look at this. I
Yes.
appreciate you so much for saying yes.
Oh,
We've had a
thank you.
great conversation. Like,
Thank
this
you.
is, again, the more freestyle. We just talk about these things and getting to know you more. And guess my listeners will be able to at least know that person, that behind that person that sits in front of a camera and talk to us out here, there is a human being. There is somebody that has feelings too, that has to deal with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing all what you have shared. And thanks again for accepting to be my guest.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me and giving us, sorry, giving me an opportunity to be able to feel a little comfortable and say my own little piece of who I am. Because, yeah, I hide a lot. I'm trying. Trust me. Sorry, guys. You guys have to be patient with me. I'm trying to come out the shell. I'm really trying so hard to come out the shell. And when platform like this, get to us and give us the opportunity to express ourselves, it means a lot. It means a lot. It's just like a pastor in the church who keeps praying for people. And who prays for the pastor?
Oh, praise for him.
So it's
Yes.
yeah. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to. Don't worry, I'll bring Mama Telako next time. So
Yeah. You need to bring her. That's if she will come. You know how she
no.
is.
She will trust me. She will.
Yes.
She'll be like, I
Sure.
beg, take there too much white man thing. Put that for
Yes,
inside.
take there are plenty English. You take one time you can take my can start talk plenty English. Let her that we're going to listen to some British English. Let her come with her British English. So
I know.
we're
She's a
waiting
whole
for her.
vibe though.
Yeah,
She
she
is.
is.
So
Yeah.
thank you so
Thank you
much. Thank you
so
so much. I
much.
really appreciate so much. Thank you for having me and stay blessed and keep doing what you do. You're doing great. Thank you.
My pleasure.